After years of dedication to the dance industry, this popular dancehall professor has taken dancehall to the world through his electrifying dance choreographies. Orville Hall is the founder, artistic director, and CEO of Dance Expressions Jamaica, a dancehall institution that specializes in dance training, dancehall theater, and the fundamentals of dancehall music, among other activities. He is credited as the first person to write a dancehall curriculum for a tertiary institution in Jamaica. He has also appeared in countless music videos, working with the likes of Shaggy, Sean Paul, Richie Stevens, Mr. Vegas, RDX, among others. And today, we're absolutely honored to journey with Orville Expressions, and we know that you literally took time out of your busy schedule to be here. And for that, we are grateful. Good afternoon and welcome, Orville Expressions.
Yeah, man, respect and thank you for having me. I hope you're hearing me clearly.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you clearly. Or shall I call you the dancehall professor? Look,
Yeah, that's the name that they've bestowed upon me.
look here.
Maybe over the last 10 years.
In doing the research, your the content and the findings, it really got me excited, and I cannot wait for our listeners to just get a peek into your journey. And we know that 1 hour could not suffice to tell it, but we're going to try our best. Kicking
All
things
right.
off, of course, with your foundation. How would you describe your childhood growing up in Kingston?
All right. My childhood was very, I would say, colorful childhood. I grew up in the Mullines Road area, which is a place called Jacksontown. And that's off Mullines Road, a place where a lot of people don't know that is Mullines Road. I grew up with mom and dad, and they were incidentally my father's nickname was Dancy
Mm, so
because
a
my
long
mother and
time.
father, yeah man, my mother and father settled in that community. They are founders of that community as well and developers of that community. They settled in that community in 1962 when Jamaica got independence.
Wow.
And my father was the person who brought um, dancehall sessions because that's the yard that dancehall parties used to keep. And used to keep a lot of dancehall parties. So I grew up seeing dancehall parties
Mm-hmm.
in the yard that I grew up. So we had a lot of fun growing up, watching the adults do anything at the dancehall parties. And my
Mm-hmm.
mother ran a shop in the community, so she used to sell everything, like ackee and saltfish, like roast breadfruit and fried dumpling, and so the shop supplied the community, so a lot of people came to the house. So it was a very fun upbringing.
And you grew up with, both parents, and this is a situation that not many Jamaican children can say, that they grew up in an environment or a situation with mommy and daddy. What would you say were some of the values that your parents instilled in you as a child that still resonates with Orbital Expressions, the man?
All right, the first thing is love and respect. Like my parents was the epitome of love and respect. My father respected and loved my mother. I've never seen my father so. One of the things that people would not say is cliche in inner cities is that kind of love and respect between man and woman, and the father being a part of the household. And I was fortunate to be a part of that. I've never seen my father raise his hand at my mother, and
Mm-hmm.
the love and respect and how they work together to develop the home that we lived in. So we were very fortunate to see that. So in terms of how to treat your partner and how to build a foundation with your partner is what I learned from my parents. You know.
Wow, that is awesome. And you kind of alluded to it earlier, like how you would have developed a passion for dancing with your dad having the nickname Dancy. I also found out that you won your first dance competition at the tender age of 7. Take us back to that moment and also give us some more insights as to how you personally develop a passion for the art form.
All My older brother, who now resides in New York, in he used to being older, he used to be out there doing, going to parties and all of that. And in the community, there were a lot of parties happening. So when he went to the parties, there were always these youngsters, my age group, that was dancing in some of the parties. Because some of the places that the parties were kept, a lot of kids were there. And he was insisting, because he always see me dance in the house. He was insisting that me better than some of them youth here.
Hey.
So there was a competition just up the road from where we live, and some little 7 or 8 year olds a dance, man. And, they were up to about 10 a dance, and I said, all right, hold on, man. Oh, no, no, bad. Yeah, go for my little brother and come back. And
Mm-hmm.
come down at the house. Now, this was a privilege for me because I'm going to tell you something about Mr. Larry and Mr. Kenneth. That's my parents. They never used to let me out. Yeah, we had to, our friends came to the house, because she was one of the stern woman who said, you know, when you go to people place and then you got here said this broken, that broken. So your friends them will have to come here and play with you. So now it was an absolute privilege for my brother to be taking me out of the house. So maybe like 8 o'clock in the evening, which is late for a 7 year old. And then came go up the road and yeah man, the rest was history man. Like me deal with it, me shell it down and me win a buckle of soda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, strong soda. Me never forget a buckle of soda. So you
For
know you hold
yourself.
the top and the bottom. Yeah, man, and this is you now sharing us getting a soda for yourself. Because as a youth at 7 growing up, you have to share a soda. Half and half for you and your brother. Because I grew up with my younger brother as well. So believe me, man, the whole soda in my hand knowing say I win it from a dance competition. Yeah. And then any other competition like at his workplace or any little Christmas party that was going on, he might just come for me and camera go there and that's how the talent, that's how I developed on the talent. So he was my first encouragement and
Mm-hmm.
dance like a voice for me because I grew up kind of introverted. So, me just find that dance was my voice. When I dance, I feel immortal, I feel like a superhero, I feel strong.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, wow. Now, let's now go into your high school years. Can you share a significant from high school that still resonates with you?
My most significant moment at that time it was a secondary school because my spirit was kind of shattered when I got to the high school level. And when I say high
Mm-hmm.
school level, is I I failed my first attempt at common entrance and I was sick for my second attempt. So I went to a secondary school. My brother passed for Calabar High School, so the community and the family unintentionally kind of passed the focus to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I Edith Dalton James, which was in Duhaney Park, and at that time it was riddled with crime and violence in the communities, from Sherlock Crescent to New Haven to um, all of these areas in that community. So I kind of started straying, but it was not until I think it was my in 10th grade, which was with the fourth form,
Mm-hmm.
that I won a dance competition called All Schools Boogie. This is one of the standout moments of my high school or my secondary school years because this competition was primarily high schools that entered All Schools Boogie. And Edith Dalton James entered All Schools Boogie, myself and a friend of mine called Richard, and we won.
Wow.
Secondary school was winning the competition for
Mm-hmm.
the first time at that time. So that is something that built my confidence and also made me realize that this is something that I would want to pursue, even though during that time it was very difficult because people didn't see dance as a career
A
choice.
profession. Yeah, I can imagine. What was that conversation like, though, with your parents? Because here it is, you are developing a level of confidence in the dancing arena. You are good at it because you're getting the results through competitions. What did your parents say? And did you pitch that to them like you want to be a dancer?
Yeah, man, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. And my father, um, God rest his soul, even though he was called dancing, it was not something that he saw as a career choice. So he was not, in the beginning, he was not very supportive. And it wasn't not supportive because it just difficult. It's just supportive because dancing didn't do anything for him. It was, it was fun and people rate him and respect him for it. So it was a difficult sell. But my mother, being the woman that she was, secretly supported me
Mm-hmm.
wanting to do that. She was still a little apprehensive about me doing it as a career choice. But I always tell people, say, if it's the last thing you think about before you go to bed, and the first thing you think about when you wake up, then as long as it's legal, it's what you should be doing. And
Mm.
that is what was happening with me. So I was just now trying to figure out, how do I make this into a career? How do I prove to them that this is what I want to do? And it was tough times them times then. So you have to find other things to do. But the passion was always still there. But it was a difficult conversation to have with them.
Mm-hmm. Can imagine. We're going to go for a quick time signal. Don't go anywhere. We're on the road to success and we're journeying with Orville Expressions.
The Grace Kennedy Financial Group made life easy.
Visit GraceKennedyFinancialGroup.com. One group, one goal. For you to live a graceful life. The time is.
It is now 12:46. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with Orville Expressions. So he just spoke about having the difficult conversation with his parents, trying to tell them that, look, this is my profession, this is what I want to do. But dancing did not happen for you immediately because you also did a job as a shoemaker. So talk to us about that experience making shoes and how did you not become contented in that field and still pursue dancing?
A friend of mine that we graduated secondary school with, we formed a dance group at Edith Dalton James called MOB, MOB. And that was, you know, our initials. He was Mark, I'm Orville, and there was another guy called Buchanan, or Buckner, I think it was. So we coined the names together and got MOB. Now, Mark Hudson's father was a shoemaker, a tradesman in shoemaking, and he was very good at it. So after secondary school, not being able, my parents was not able to afford CXCs at the time. I did SSC, and nobody was looking at SSC as qualified education. So he introduced me to shoemaking and said, I mean, I know a place hiring, and it's a means to an end. let's let's do something, and then maybe we can figure out how we can get back into this world of dancing. And it was a good thing that he was as well. So he remained an encouragement, and we didn't know how it was going to happen. But while we were doing the shoemaking, we started practicing how to make shoes, like the simple shoes, them just the top and the side, and we were practicing this. 1 second, please. Just give me one.
All right. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with Orville Expressions. He is telling us the story of, how he was a shoemaker and, yes, you formed the dance group MOB with your friends from school.
Yes, so I got this job, and while we were there learning how to make shoes, we decided that, how do we get the word out that we were making shoes? And then we said, suppose we advertise us, or the work that we've been doing, by showing it off on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we started making the shoes, going on stage to do like little modeling gigs, but the modeling had a dance overtone to it. And people started looking and them, like they look at shoes them would make. Some people would support it, others would just be entertained by us on stage doing modeling routines.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started doing more dance routines than modeling movements. And that is really what started the journey in terms of people seeing and knowing Orville Hall. And
And
this was
people did see you because ultimately you got a gig with Tasty that is a symbolization of your introduction into the creative industry. Take us back to that defining moment.
I after after the shoemaking era, I got a job with a company that they were the ones responsible for tasty talent competition, and I was employed as a kind of grooming instructor for persons who were doing the work on stage, because
Mm-hmm.
I was always looking at stagecraft and how people use the stage to just command that attention from an audience. And I was looking at that. So I was self-taught in that area just by observing, and I was showing some people how I think that they should use the stage, and people were very interested in it. So when I got that gig to do it, a number of the artists that I worked with, Mr. Vegas being one of them,
Oh, wow.
got a lot of yeah man, got a lot of um, good review about how the stage was used and how they used the stage. So Tasty is really what catapulted me into the limelight, because people, one of the things that was good about it is that I got my credit for being the grooming instructor. So if there was a winner, and a number of persons who won during that time came through my hand, and they were always giving credit, saying, Orville was the one that showed me how to use the stage, where the strongest part of the stage is, what section of the music you should start walking on or moving across the stage. And that, again, was just something that was self taught until I learned it professionally.
Mm-hmm. And so here it is now, like you mentioned, you are being seen. So that happened at Tasty. People seeing that the instructions that you were given, it really worked. And then ultimately you did some work with Richie Stevens, dancehall queen Carlene. Talk to us about these interactions and how did it impact your career in those early years?
Richie Stevens, it started with Richie Stevens. Richie Stevens saw something that I did. I think it was 98, but
96,
just
97.
97 with Richie. Yeah, it started in 1997 with Richie Stevens, where he saw me doing. I was doing a gig where I was conducting a band, something that I created, where I would be the conductor conducting a band, and people was excited about it. I was just grooming my locks at that time, and I was doing a whole heap of mad things with my head, being a
Mm-hmm.
conductor. And we were using something that I think Chalice had a thing for the reggae philharmonic orchestra.
Harmonica.
A
Mm-hmm.
kind of, yeah, that is what we were doing with the band. And him just say, say, I feel like that would be a good introduction to bring me out on stage. And him used me for an introduction before he came out on stage. So I was like an opening act for him. And
Wow.
that that same routine is the routine that opened for the song that he had called "Whop Them and Flap Them,"
Mm-hmm.
and that video took off. That video, like, just that video went viral, and people, even before people know my name, the people that talk about the Rasta, the head thing with the conducting, and that paved the way for me being the choreographer for the dance routines that went into the national stadium when we were vying for a place at the World Cup.
Mm.
The work with Richie Stevens
1998.
in 1998,
Mm-hmm.
when I choreographed for, I think it was about 20 females, and that was the halftime show. So I was running out on the stage, on the field with 20 females, with 30,000 people in the stadium, and that in itself was that now was the that was a turning point.
No,
That
but
was a
but
turning.
but even though Orville, even though you were getting this attention and you're getting the gigs and you're getting your name out there and getting a taste of stardom, what inspired your decision at that point to go back to school and attended the Excelsior Community College?
Uh, the treatment, the treatment of corporate Jamaica. Somebody told me that I would never. I was always wondering when am I going to be paid what I think I'm worth in the business? Because you get monkey money here. And somebody said to me, said, "Boy, tell you the truth, if you're going to work in corporate, having some kind of paperwork behind your name is very important." And I was out of school for a number of years, and I mean, I said, "What? Like to go back to school?" But I sit down and think about it, and I say, "Oh, Lord, it's true." And my own research showed me that when you have something attached to your name, it works. But not only that, it gives you more insight, more education about the craft. And I think that we should all be perpetual students. Like we should always be a student of our craft. And if you truly want to develop, then and I literally begged my way into like I said, community college at the time, because at the time it was a performing arts society until it
Mm-hmm.
developed into a certificate program. And from a certificate program to a diploma program to an associate degree program. But at the time when it was a certificate program, you had to have um, three
CXCs.
CXC
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think
mentor and close friend to this day. To get me
you
through,
you were
I would,
frozen just now, Orville. So we just got a bit of you saying you needed to have three CXCs.
yes, I needed to have three CXCs to enter the program. But I begged Mr. Kenny Salmon, who was the head of the performing arts department, to get me into the program and I would pursue the CXC while I'm there. And that is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I everything I was now a popular face out in the world, and I had to make a decision. Do I drop all of this, or do I still just ride this wave and hope that I will get my just thing, go back to school, get back. So this is me now contemplating. I'm going back to school with 17 and 18-year-old with mind fresh and all of that. Am I out of the school system too long? But I just made the decision. I dropped everything and I went back to school. I went to Exeter Community College, and it was the best decision of my life because I moved through certificate program, diploma program, associate degree, and I was the lead student all 3 years of those programs. And I was a student teacher. I brought dancehall classes to Exeter, and that is what
Mm-hmm.
I would use to pay my tuition to complete the program. But it was the best. Everything that I know about the arts and production and events management and all of that and directing and acting was through Exeter Community College, and I was a diligent and humble student.
Mm-hmm. And we have Cashpot coming up on us because my next question now would be to delve a little deeper into what prompted the idea for a dancehall curriculum and, if you had any challenges. So I'm going to let that question marinate until after the Cashpot break and then we will resume. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than Orville Expressions. And how many dancers would really think that, look, I need to go back to school and get a formal education for dancing? Stick and stay. When you forward, we have so much more.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 9340666.
The time is
It is now 12:59. We are standing by, so listen up. Your top draw dollars, pick two, pick three, pick four, hot pick, and cash pot lunchtime draws up next.
Yeah, yeah. This is not a you I say. Iowa FM is roots rock reggae. Hear this. And all them other liquid stations, what me say? A straight reggae. You hear that?
Supreme Ventures Lottery Games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, January 25, 2024. I'm Jeline and welcome to the Supreme Ventures Afternoon Live Game Draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. Now, all Supreme Ventures live game draws are being supervised by the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Now, let's put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot is $600,000. Now, here are the winning top draw numbers and good luck. And the first winning top draw number is 1. The second winning top draw number is 21. The third winning top draw number for this afternoon is 2. Now following 2, we have 18. And the final top draw number for $600,000 is 3. And now let's pick your play with our dollars game. I do hope you're feeling lucky this afternoon, so get those tickets out. And the first winning dollars number is 33. The second winning dollars number is 21. The third winning dollars number for this afternoon is 27. Now, following 27, I guess we're counting down to 26. Next up is 32. Following 32, we're counting down to 31. And we're halfway there. Here comes 34. I wonder what's next. It's number 4. Now following 4 is lucky number 1. Next up is 15. Coming down, we have 16. And now for the final dollars number, here comes 36. Now for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game. Let's play. And the first winning Pick 2 number is 21. The second winning Pick 2 number is 8. Now, once again, the winning Pick 2 numbers are 21 and 8. Now, up next, you can play 3 ways. It's our Pick 3 game. And the first winning Pick 3 number for this afternoon is 9. The second winning Pick 3 number is 1. And the third and final, we have 4. Now, once again, the winning Pick 3 numbers are 9, 1, and 4. Now, let's stump the winners. Get ready for Pick 4. And the first winning Pick 4 number is 6. The second winning Pick 4 number, we have 2. The third, here it comes, it's 8. And the fourth and final is 0. Now, once again, the winning Pick 4 numbers are 6, 2, 8, and 0. Now this one, it's easy for win, so let's heat things up with Hot Pick. And the winning Hot Pick number is 15. Congratulations to all Hot Pick winners. Again, the winning number is 15. And now you can win $280 for every $10 winning cash pot bet. Let's get ready to play our cash bet game for Thursday, January 25, 2024. Now, I know you live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big cash pot winner. Now, let's see what the winning cash pot number will be. And this afternoon's winning cash pot number is 14. Congratulations to all cash pot winners. Again, the winning number is 14. And now, let's mega your winning, so good luck. And what will it be for this afternoon? And a white ball has been selected. And now it's time for the monster winning, so good luck once more. Now let's see if you'll be lucky. Get those tickets out. Here it comes. and a white ball was selected. Remember to go Mega and Monster 6 times per day for cashpot for more chances to win big. Again, the winning cashpot number is 14. The lucky mark is mouth, and a white ball was selected for pick 3, pick 4 cashpots and hot pick. And for Monster, a white ball was selected for cashpot. Now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers, and congratulations to everyone who won. Now, please do join us again at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I'm Jeline. Have yourself a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cash pot special pot draws. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success, and we're journeying, of course, with none other than Orville Expressions. And Orville, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing it.
Okay, awesome. As long as you can hear me, we are absolutely good. So before the cash pot break, I told you that I wanted the next question that I had for you. So here it is. You're talking about your time at Excelsior, Excel, right? And you know, that was the best thing that you have ever done. This is where you also introduce a dancehall curriculum. Talk to us about what propelled you to introduce a dancehall curriculum, and what were some of the challenges that you were met with, because we know how some intellect, how they feel, and the type of expression they have, especially towards dancehall music in particular.
That was the driving force behind me wanting to dance, because of how people perceive dance and the kind of statement we hear some people make about dancehall without even understanding it. And what was
Mm-hmm.
painful is that there were institutions that was ready to take on ballet and modern contemporary and jazz in their school curriculum, but referring to dancehall as street dance. And my research showed me that all dances started in the street. All of them. They were all street dance before they went into an institution or a studio.
Mm-hmm.
And what people did is that people took the time to formalize the genre or the style and put it in institutions. So why we could do the same thing for dancehall? What was so bad about dancehall? And we realized that even so, same kind of, borderline pushed aside alienation. So I started wondering, what if we look at the the side of dancehall that we could use to put in a curriculum? And
Mm-hmm.
when we looked at dancehall, it wasn't difficult. There was so much. Dancehall is fun music. If we start from even before dancehall, so even before we got to dancehall, how about talking about all the things that helped to develop dancehall? So we can go back from traditional folk form, we can go back from mentor, we can go back from ska, rocksteady, reggae, leading up to what dancehall is, and do a whole history thing. And that is what I used to sell the idea. But naturally, we came up on a lot of red tape
Roadblocks.
because
Mm-hmm.
word dancehall and the fact that it was painted as bawdy and rude. So we now had to strip it down, take out the things that we wanted to present and show them, said it has enough meat on it that we can teach it in schools and it's ours. If we are going to take on jazz and modern contemporary and ballet, why we can't take on dancehall? What's the stop us?
Mm-hmm.
And if we
Mm-hmm.
have if we have JCDC dance festival where people can go and do traditional folk form workshops, we can do the same thing with dancehall, because dancehall was doing a whole heap of things on the international scene, just like reggae was doing that and Jamaica was embracing reggae, and reggae had the soul back to us from people overseas for us to embrace it.
Did
So
you
that was my,
succeed? Did
yes,
you
we did.
succeed with Excel?
At, to a point, we succeeded to a point. The one thing that broke my heart was the fact that it it was accepted, but they didn't want to use the name. They wanted to call it urban contemporary folk or something like that. And
What, ya?
yeah, then we want to find some sophisticated name when dancehall of the world, where they right around the world where people know about. So why you want to change the name? Because people, think that there's a negative connotation to dancehall. So when I left Exeter, I decided to die because it's a dancehall program in the institution. They embraced
You,
it because the biggest challenge was Exeter Community College is a Methodist institution. So for them to even consider us writing a curriculum, I was happy about, but I couldn't work with the fact that they don't want to use the name.
to rebrand it.
And I wanted a dance. Yeah.
So did this then ultimately led to the birth of Dance Expressions Jamaica?
Dance Expressions Jamaica was born out of Exeter Community College because the group itself was entering festival, and I was doing very well at dance. That is what gave the Exeter Performing Arts Department visibility right around the island because of the dance program and the amount of medals and trophies that we were winning at festival. So that's where the group was born. And when I asked the young ladies to make sure so them complete them associate degree, so when them go out into the world, they're not just some girls standing on them head top and jump and split in a dancer, but they have information. So they wrote their thesis on different areas of dancehall, and they were able to speak eloquently. So people them dressing at them shots and them midriff, they were just the culture itself through dress code and movement and the respect gradually started building because now they could articulate and they realized they weren't talking to some people who them think are just some inner city people who don't know how to talk. So that is what I was very firm on. The young ladies getting them education, a formal education, and coming out into the world so they can represent themselves and their culture.
Do you think that this mission that you have for Dance Expressions, where the first professional dancehall group, like you mentioned, the dancers having an associate's degree, do you think that this has gotten a chance to spread across the dance industry in Jamaica? And as someone who is the dancehall professor, is this something that you communicate to like other dancers in the field as well?
Yeah, man. And it's again, the process is sometimes slow because more time we don't really understand the power of what we have until other people start showing it to us. I realize there's something that happened in Jamaica a lot. I wrote a dancehall curriculum and I presented it to Hart in 2014, 2015. It took almost 6 years, but it went. So there is no formal dancehall curriculum that exists that we're still trying to push forward. But sometimes you buck up on a whole heap of red tape where that is concerned. But we have already accredited our first 18 dancers, and the contract is for 240 over a 3-year period. So a dancer can have a certificate that says I am a dance hall dancer. So when them take it to the hotels and when them take it overseas, it hold value because it's hard accredited. It's a initiative between Heart and Expressions JA. So I
Wow.
think we've done great work. It's just that it needs to be established, and we just need to get get rid of some of the red tape sometimes that would stop these things from moving forward.
Wow, that is absolutely brilliant. Like I really had no idea, like, you know, that happened in the dancing world. As someone who, and I can say fought tooth and nail for dancehall and ultimately dancers in particular, is it heart-rending for you when you see like some international videos, dancehall music videos, where local dancers are not represented and international dancers get the opportunity to shine?
Yes, yeah, yeah, and that is why I've been over the years trying to bring dancers together to get rid of the ego and to have them understand that if we work as a unit and understand what we're putting out there, because many of the dancers, you know, remember I said this is natural talent, and this is born out there.
Now, Orville, where I think you,
Spend time.
can you repeat what you just said? You broke up a little bit.
Okay, am I clearer now?
Yes, man, you're clearer now.
So I'm saying that we have to, my generation spent a lot of time bragging to the youngsters instead of bringing them to the table and explaining the things that they need to do. Because dancehall comes out of the people, out of the inner city. So there's certain professional ethics that we need to learn, you know, being on time, teaching a class, what is, you know, how do a teacher is different from a dancer. I had to teach myself. I had to learn how to teach. But I was naturally a dancer. I could just move. But teaching is a different discipline. You know, how do we get the youngsters to understand this, and how do we get the youngsters to impart this knowledge? So when they go out there, people don't exploit them or use what they have and then tell people, say, no, they're not very professional. But I know how to teach. So what I will do is take it from them, and then I will earn from it. So this is what we're trying to get. So you know your worth, you know how to stand up for what is yours, and you won't make people just exploit your thing by taking your dance moves and decide to them go and put it in a music video, and you're not consulted, or people take your
Or
dance move and they
credited.
teach different parts. Yeah, they
But
teach different parts of Europe, and nobody's crediting you for it, or you're not earning from it. So there are no royalties to be had, but people teaching a dance move all over Europe because you did a class with them in Jamaica, or because you went on tour and you did a class with them, and they now take that as a license to teach your dance moves in different parts of the country, earning from.
and with the technology and the social media era, does this make what you're trying to do even harder? Because now when you look across the spaces, you're seeing dancers in Russia, in Japan, and they're doing these, you know, Jamaican dancehall moves. Does it make it harder for you, or is it easier to say who gets the credit for what?
Since 2012, I think we have made some inroads, and a lot of us started, because I started touring as a dance teacher in 2012. You know, before that we were, you know, you went away with a group and you do some dance shows, and but as 2010 was when that avenue was opened, and I went out there in 2012 and formalized it, where they started taking more local dancers because there was now a space for dance teachers. So it has helped us a lot, and more dancers are going out there, but I want dancers to go out there with more information, because now I'm seeing where people are realizing that no matter how much Europeans and how much South Americans and how much Asians take up dancehall and present it, there will never be that authentic energy to it. So they are now, because of the potency of our culture, people are coming back to the source. So once we know what we know how to impart the knowledge, and we know people always come because we're still the mecca of dancehall.
And as you mentioned, coming back to the source, I understand that you started a hostel here in Jamaica where, it is a space for dancers around the world. Tell us a little bit about that and how many dancers can you actually accommodate through dance expressions space, and what are some of the offerings dancers globally can get?
Okay, I was partners with a gentleman who had a space that became a hostel. I am no longer associated with that hostel, but it still exists. It's called the Dancehall Hostel, and that was started primarily for persons to get the experience of inner city Jamaica, grassroots Jamaica, where you come and you get what happens in regular Jamaica. It is still operational, and persons are still coming for that experience. The place could house about 40 dancers because it's hostel style. And that again was to develop something that I've always been passionate about, and it's community tourism. Bring people into the community and making persons in the community give them a chance to earn, and also unearth the talent that is there and put it out in the marketplace so they can earn. Because once we empower our people from the inner city, I can tell you I think is one of the recipes to dissolve crime and violence. I think is one of the things. Empower the youth them and make the youth them get a skill and make them earn from it. If we look at what is happening, if we understand the amount of tourists we take in a year time, that's something that joy can be spread right around. And Jamaica is known for community tourism as well.
What is the interaction like with you and other dancers, like in the streets, dancers who do not fall under the dance expressions umbrella, like, the new dancers who get their breaks, via TikTok and elsewhere? Do they understand the level of work that you do for the dance community and how much you're lobbying to get dancehall to where it is now and what you have accomplished, especially through institutions, to formalize it?
Based on the level of respect that is shown to me when I meet these dancers or speak to these dancers, would tell me that they have an understanding of what I've been doing, of what I'm still doing. Because remember, I spent 15 years on the most popular dance.
Dancing Dynamite.
Dancing Dynamite. So I was associated, and most of them passed through my hands. It would be just the new generation of TikTok dancers who still know me and still know of my work, and they still show a whole lot of respect to me, and I respect them as well. I just want to find a way to bring them to the table so they can understand how to develop the skills and earn from it.
And as you mentioned, dancing dynamites and, like 15 seasons, like that's a long time. What were some of the qualities that you look for when assessing a dancers? Well, especially for dancers who are listening, what are some of the qualities like a great dancer should possess, a dancehall dancer?
All right. A dancehall dancer must possess the knowledge of the dance culture before dancehall. Because when we talk about dancehall, we're talking about 80s, 90s, 2000 to what is now. But let us look at what developed that. Let us look at Kumina. Let's look at Dinky Mini. Let's look at Gary. Let's look at Tambo. Then let's look at Ska, Mentor, Rocksteady, Reggae. Let's look at all these things, because all these things are developing factors to where we are in dancehall now. So when you avail yourself with the rich history from them time till now, it makes you a better person. I want people to stop thinking that dancehall just fell out of the sky by itself. It's connected. It's connected to all that we were doing before.
Mm-hmm. From Jaria to Stone Love, you have gotten the accolades as an individual and through dance expressions, JA. Looking back, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment to date?
My greatest accomplishment is having a dancehall curriculum accredited,
Mm,
approved and accredited. My
big
greatest
deal.
accomplishment. That's a big deal. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big deal. That will get my name. When people say them live forever, it's through their works. It's not a physical thing. That's how I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as somebody who did something for the culture. I don't have to pass this life being somebody who themselves. Orville's net worth was. We just want to know some get some youth to develop on them skill and them can look in our book and say, yes, it's one of the founding fathers of it here. And one of the persons who not he didn't just take the talent and lock it to himself, but he let people in and let people out. I have written at least 60 or 70% of the job letters that send dancers on tour.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So what would you say, like for dancers who are listening who wants to be certified, what is the first step towards making that a reality through art?
Link, link, there's Edna Manley, there's Exed, but there's also Expressive Moves Dance Hall program that is accredited by Heart, and I am supposed to get 240 dancers accredited. The greatest thing about that is that they are already paid for. So once I send out an ad and say I need 20 dancers because it's 20 dancers per cohort,
Mm-hmm.
just give up 3 months of your time and become accredited because you don't have to pay $1. You just have to turn up
Wow.
and complete the course.
So
Because that is what
Orville,
art
when you're ready, call me, message me so we can put this information out because sometimes people will say they don't know, they didn't hear, them no know say this are gone. So we'll get the information out. Absolutely. So
is.
these dancers can be accredited.
Yeah, man, that's really what I want to say. I want to see more dancers being accredited as dancehall dancers. That's where their strength lies, and that's what we need to encourage and just shove them out the road as they will do the rest. I'm so proud of some of the dancers that I have helped to put on tour. Dance carry me
Mm-hmm.
at 36 different countries around the world, But tour more than
Wow.
some artists,
Mm-hmm.
April
Big
McGann
deal.
again, gone again. So yeah, man, it's a big deal, man, and it's something that we can pop a color and say, yeah, as a dancer, it was one of the time the thing that was looked down at if you're not touring with that artist, you can't go on tour. If you're not go to some like a show in the US, you're not. I've toured 36 different countries, having 10 Russian visas.
Wow. No, as you
Big deal.
also mentioned cultural contributions, Reggae Month is literally in 7 days. Now, what do you think is the ultimate event or ceremony of recognition to celebrate dancers for their contribution to the dancehall culture?
I think I hear about one of the things that just passed in December was a dancehall road march that was put on by Carlin the dancehall queen that I applauded her for
The
because that's
efforts.
a very
Mhm.
good move. Next year I'm sure it will be bigger. So just like how we have soca moving through the streets of Kingston and other parts of um, rural Jamaica, we wanted to see something like that for dancehall, and it is finally out there as well. Now, I would like to see a kind of award ceremony that speak to dancers. Remember, we have to talk about Laba Laba, who Laba Laba was a part of Bogle's team, and Laba Laba died a poor man, but Laba Laba contributed significantly to the development of dancehall.
Mhm.
To teach Bogus about some of the things that came before him because he was a older man than Bogland would have
Ogle.
known about the era of Skank and Rocksteady and all of that. Persian the Cat, some of the band them who used to dance ska back in the day and Ray. I would love to see us create something and look for some of the people and call some names that people never even know about. If people talk to Sky Juice, the selector, they will know that he was a part of one of the biggest dance groups in Jamaica before he became a selector. So there's so much
Oh,
history.
wow.
And we would like forums that bring dancers to the table to talk about the rich dance culture.
But do you
So we
think
can educate.
with the wealth of knowledge and experience that you have garnered over time, like dancers may be looking towards a Orville expression to say lead the charge, or is it that having an entertainment ministry in government, then that is where it should come from, and they reach out to a Orville expressions to make this probable?
I've been seeking audience with government for years to speak about this, and I have been, I mean, I've been very vigilant in going out there and trying to get dancers together. So much so that even some dancers think that I'm a dinosaur now and that I should sit down and I don't have much to offer. But the day when I wake up and feel like I don't have the strength to do it, then maybe I'll stop. But for now, I not feel that none at all. I still feel like never a whole lot to offer, so I still offer it.
And you're doing it at a higher level. You paving ways and setting things in stone that will ultimately propel dancers when not even born yet.
For real. Respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for a dancer that is listening and they want to enter the industry, and we know this industry is not for the faint of a heart, what advice would you give to those dancers who are oozing with passion? Them go to bed thinking about dancing and wake up thinking about dancing.
I want them to understand that there is a whole new discipline. Once they decide that this is where I am going to push all my energy, the first thing is the law of life is going to raise a certain amount of obstacles to test you. That's the first thing I want them to understand. So that is going to happen naturally because the law of life is going to test you if this is what you really want to do or you're going to break easily. And you have to understand it comes with a certain discipline. Find a way to educate yourself beyond the space that you are so you can move forward. Find a way to develop yourself. Be a perpetual student of your craft. Always tell yourself, say you have something new to learn. Seek out the gurus. Look for the teachers of the thing. It's called research for a reason. Search for it. It's there.
Good advice. And I couldn't have you on in Orville Expressions and not ask you, which dance move do you think is the most epic of all? And it just basically transcend time.
Wow. Let me tell you. You see Bogle. It's a Bogle and Gully Creeper. And I think maybe because Gully Creeper is one of my favorite dances, but Gully Creeper is something that is locked into our culture because it's things that used to happen when you used to use them. I jump down at the gully them and I creep with the rifle and thing. And when you look at how that dance was created, the music, how the music is married to the movement, for me is one of the epic dance move. And I'm talking about dances that did not have the help of the internet to transmit it overseas. So when you look at a Bogle dance and this was before the age
What
of the
about
internet.
heel and toe?
Heel and yeah, man. Heel and toe
And world dance.
yeah, heel and toe are come to it from in the 50s and then you know when I say from
It
But
transcend
when
time.
we're talking about dancehall, epic moves in dancehall, it, for me is like Bogle dance and Gully Creeper.
And finally, what can we anticipate from Dance Expressions Jamaica? What's next?
Dance Expressions Jamaica continue to raise the bar, continue to do things. We are now I'm into film now. in 2020, I took up my phone and I started a YouTube series called The Bartender. And 3 years later, I have a YouTube channel that I'm paying 20 people from.
Oh, wow.
Actors. So, tell your listeners, please go and look for Expressions JA YouTube channel and follow the page. I am taking youngsters who have the ability to act from inner cities and giving them a chance to shine on screen now. So I learned how to shoot and edit in 2020. So I teach myself as a big man new things and opening new avenues for people. 20 odd people. That is a company kind of thing that.
Wow. So here it is though. I know I say
proud
it's the final
to
the
be
final
opening new avenues.
I know I say it's a final question, but you just open up this can of worms now. You're exploring the various artistic endeavors. You just mentioned acting, directing, poetry, choreographing, contributing to dancehall curriculum. Have you self-actualized?
Yes. And I'm happy with where I am and where I'm going.
Wow. Orville Expressions. Thank you so much. The messages are coming in for you. This person says, awesome RTS Kishima. Big up to Orville. This one says, good afternoon. Good interview. One thing with Orville, look for him to teach you something. He always has something to teach, no matter how small. He has an eye for detail and would like to know what inspires him to keep him going. Sometimes dancing can get repetitive, but what keeps him pursuing this path? And I have to ask you this question. What keeps you going?
The memory of my father. I lost him in 2021. That is,
condolences.
My father.
Absolutely. And the message is coming in. It says, big up to Orville Expressions. It's coming from Ricardo Portios. Trendsetter Patty Drinks from Falmouth says, big up to Orville. This one says, dancehall next giant Ricochet says, everything him say, Allah. Worse, him a my neighbor from my past school. Bigger heads, Edith Dalton James. Real success story, One love to Orville. Kishma really love his meds and keep doing it per RTS. All right, so big up yourself. This one says, good afternoon. Wow, nice interview. It's coming from Jackie from Higgintown. And this person says, great interview. I know Orville from in the early 90s. He's such a humble soul, for real. From then and now. Bless up yourself and big up yourself. I am so proud of him. It's coming from Blooming. And people are feeling like they know you personally just hearing your story. So thank you so much. I know you're busy.
Yeah, man. Please big them up for me. Big up everybody who texting, all the persons listening. I remain people. I'm one of the accessible people then because the people make me so. I remain underground and very grounded. And thank you for having me. Respect.
Thank you too. I appreciate it. Orville Expressions. Look here, big deal business, Created a dancehall curriculum that is accredited. Martha the Barber in Augustown, so look here, I'm locked in. Big up yourself. Orville is a good dancer. Always used to see him in the dance hall, And this is one of the person who is smart at taking the culture to an international level. Thank you so much. A success story indeed.
It may only be another minute. It may only be another minute.